Johnson, but also all the other political prisoners. But before the BBC has a meltdown, no, I'm not talking about those who went to loot the shops and cause trouble like that, but those who were arrested for protesting, those who were protested for standing on a pavement and observing a protest, and those who posted a meme on social media. We are there for them. But I would like to talk about the hypocrisy of the liberal establishment, not just in the United Kingdom, but on an international level. It's not just this government behind me. Our so-called allies, Justin Trudeau, Emmanuel Macron, all the liberal countries. The hypocrisy of the international allies. They are very vocal when it comes to condemning you, because your views are extremist. They get involved, they interfere in our politics. But they don't say anything when the Taliban take over Afghanistan. They don't talk about. They say it's their country. They say when the Gazans, the Palestinians overwhelmingly voted for Hamas, that's democracy, that's their sovereign right. It's fine. When Al-Jilani and his Islamist minions and nutters take over Syria, Justin Trudeau's government, Emmanuel Macron's government, all of them, they go and shake hands with him. It's a sovereign right. But the United Kingdom, the British people, have in views, oh, they should interfere. They have every right to interfere. But the hypocrisy goes further. Let's talk about Salwan.
By making these problems resolve themselves with justice. Fortunately, Nigel does have good people around him. I've noticed that even Lee Anderson has been speaking quite stridently recently, but I'd like to give a big shout out to Rupert Lowe for providing the moral leadership that is required in this country. And one last thing that really I do find frustrating is the lack of attack on every single one of their narratives. We have a great example in our friends in America. Do not give them an inch. Pick a topic that is important to the British people, polarize it and win on it. The obvious thing to do in Britain is to look at the polls. 70% of people are against immigration now, so Nigel Farage could easily win on this subject. This is what they should be doing, and for some reason they're not. Anyway, I will of course try and keep it brief because it's very quiet, very cold. But thank you all so much for coming. I'm genuinely shocked at the impressive turnout that we've had. Godspeed.
Another wonderful man. So we're going to have a song, and whilst the music's playing, the charity buckets are going to come round, and all those donations go towards Urban Scoop, and they help families that are going through similar problems that Tommy is in his family, all those political prisoners, banged up, unjust. They always start the music when I'm speaking. You get the picture. And there's also going to be some hats coming round for sale. So hats and buckets and music. And then we got Maya Tusi coming on the stage. Cancelled by Iran. Tusi TV. Winning every single day. And I'll see you very shortly.
Come on, forward! Thank you.
Right, I do apologise, I have to talk over this for a little while. I don't really want to keep getting copyrighted when my videos can't be shown. But yeah, as you can see, there is thousands of people at this rally with all different types of flags, all different countries are there. But yeah, I think it was a very, very good rally. There is another stunt going on in Swansea on the 15th of February. If you can get there, please do.
And we need the
I think you will
politicians
enjoy it all.
who work
Thank
for
you
the
anyway. Bye for now.
welfare of the country. It's time to rise up and save your children, save your families, save your daughters, save your wives, save your mother from the vicious, evil people, those who are working behind the religion, all vicious and evil acts. You know, in this country, they have got one word, that is Islamophobia. The phobia word, they have used it in a very wrong way. We are not scared of Islam.
No, we're not!
We are not scared of Islam. This country belongs to Christians, and this country respects every religion. And we are here to fight this fight together. Tommy Robinson, when he talked about expose the grooming gangs from Pakistan and from Bangladesh, they are grooming our young children, they are grooming our young girls, they are sexually assaulting our young girls. It's time to save them. It's time to speak for them. And Tommy Robinson, I just want to say, you are never alone. We all are together in this fight. And this country, you know, this country gives you freedom of religion. This country gives you equal rights. A lot of asylum people have come here. They have welcomed in this country. But when you live in this country, you don't backstab the country.
Exactly!
You don't backstab the country. You respect the country. You don't backstab it. So, your Sharia laws, keep it in your backside. Keep your Sharia laws in your backside. We don't need it here in this country. If you don't want to live in this country, you can go back to your Sharia countries. Not here. Not here. So my dear friends, Islam is not a religion. It's dressed as a religion. But it's the cult and evil and wicked, vicious acts behind the name of religion. So my dear friends, we stand together with Tommy Robinson. And Tommy Robinson, we love you. You are never alone. And I just want to say, Tommy Robinson, may God bless you. May God keep his face shine upon you. May God be gracious unto you. And may God keep his countenance upon you. And may God give you peace. This is for Tommy Robinson. You are never alone. We all are together with you. And we will fight this fight together. In the name of Jesus Christ, we will get this country back on its feet and back from the wicked, evil politicians who are sitting on the post, wicked, evil politicians who are sitting in this post, and they are only for the destruction of the country. They are not for the welfare of the country. So my dear friends, this country embraces everyone. This country welcomes everyone. And it's time that we see that we don't backstab this country. So we love this country. We are standing for this country. And we pray, I just want to pray for the people of this country and for the whole country that, the Lord is our shepherd and we shall not want. We will not lack nothing. He makes us to lie down in green pastures. He restoreth our soul. He makes us to walk in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And in the Bible it says, even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of the death, we will fear no evil. Fear is from the devil. We are not for fear.
Yes,
Fear is from the devil. But love is from God. And we will fear no evil. And God will make your enemies. God will prepare a table in the presence of our enemies. And God will anoint our head with oil. And surely goodness and mercy will follow thee all the days of our life. And we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Blessed is the nation whose Lord is God. And we thank you. Thank you, Robinson, Tommy Robinson. You are never alone. We love you and we stand with you forever and ever. Thank you.
Well, that would be a very difficult one to follow, wouldn't it? To give a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to be a very good friend, Peter McElvenna from Hearts of Oak. But first, before I do that, and if the cameras can get on this, there's a very special event taking place on the 22nd of March this year. And it's called For the Children. There'll be a lot of details out. If you've got these leaflets in the crowd, please scan the QR code, go to the Facebook page, join the Facebook page, and let's get tens of thousands of British patriots standing for our children on the 22nd of March 2025. I want you to give an absolutely massive welcome to Peter McElvenna. Peter has been walking this walk for 20 years. He's done a lot in the background. He put his face out there about 7 years ago with Hearts of Oak. His channel's absolutely fantastic. He'll tell you where the social media is. Give a massive round of applause for my friend and your friend, Peter McElvenna.
Thank you, Richard. Great to see so many patriots here today. And no matter if you've only come across Tommy a month ago or 10 years ago, this is your family. This is the people who will stand with you. These are the people that Tommy has brought together who will speak truth into every situation. So welcome to your new family if you're new to this. You are all enemies of the state. So some of us know what that is like, others don't, but we know we will stand firm because we know what we stand for. I first met Tommy 16 years ago. We launched Hearts of Oak 5 years ago. 10 minutes that way, Tommy spoke, as did Carl Benjamin and others. And I went to see him in prison a couple of weeks ago with Gerard Batten, as I did to Belmarsh before, never having been to prison, except when I visit Tommy Robinson. Of course, I did have to sign an NDA because I wanted to spend time with him.
Have you seen Trump?
To cheer him up.
Look to your left.
He actually cheered Gerard and I up because
with the bandage on his ear as well.
With Elon Musk and the support that he has. How did everyone feel on the 1st of January when you saw
President Trump,
Tommy
look at the
Robinson
face.
on X, on Twitter?
He's wearing a red hat.
A moment. Now, I could tell you all about how broken our society is.
Put a blocker on for the live feed.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't get live.
6 years. Nearly a quarter of our, quarter of a million children's lives snuffed out every year in the name of convenience. Sexualization of our children in every area of society. Acceptance of a brutal and destructive ideology based on a man who may or may not have lived 1400 years ago in Saudi Arabia. Anyone know what man I'm talking about? Beginning with AM, I think, and Mr. Mohammed.
Not
our
much anyone
culture
can
and
do,
society has
really.
been overwhelmed by an immigration tsunami.
as you can
Absolute
see,
truth
there's
is
still
rejected.
the
We
old
need
Bill standing
something.
there.
And
There's
Tommy knows
loads
all
and
these issues, and he has fought against all these issues and spoken
Loads
through
and
them.
loads of
And that's
old
why we're
Bill.
here. We need a vision for this country, and it's not Reform UK at the moment. Maybe in the
Loads
future,
of
but
old
not
Bill
now.
across the other
And
side
I
as
want to talk
well.
about Christian nationalism, the promotion of Christian values in society. Christian nationalism is hope for our nation. It's a society based on biblical principles, but Christianity is Christ. It's following Jesus. And you take Christ out of Christian, and you're left with Ian. Now, Ian is not going to do much for you, so I'd like to see Christ back in Christianity. And Christianity is clearly defined, unlike British values. British values, we hear of democracy. Well, how does that place work for you and me? Parliament, it hasn't. What about rule of law? We now live in a lawless society. Do you trust the police or the courts? No! I don't. Individual liberty, that has slipped away during lockdown and is continued and is now completely destroyed. What about mutual respect? The only thing we are told to respect is Islam and every culture except ours. What about tolerance? That means an acceptance of error, and I don't subscribe to that. British values are subjective, but biblical values are absolute, and they will show us how to live. The fact that we are made in the image of God, the fact that we are told that God created each of us in the womb, I mean, that should end the abortion industry. Do you know the WHO tells us that induced abortion is a simple and common health care procedure? How is it health care? 3 out of every 10 pregnancies end in abortion. That's 60 million deaths every year. It is illegal to pray outside the abortion clinic. And how can we have 170 accident and emergency departments, but 300 abortion departments? We have more death centres than health centres. And I know Calvin was speaking at one of these events, and I won't give my heart out to you as he did, but you know what I mean. We are made in the image of God. That means our skin colour is irrelevant, our background, our ethnicity. We are all made in the image of God, and every one of us has unique value.
As you can see,
what about the God for this male
as
and
I've said
female?
quite a few occasions,
Do you know,
that
this is now
you look
LGBTQI
on how
month.
many,
I don't know if you knew, but this is the first of 28
flags
long days where we celebrate the sexual
there's
madness of
so many different types of
LGBTQI.
flags.
It's a month of
It's
sexual perversion that
everywhere
reigns in
you
our
look.
nation and seeks to destroy the family.
Flags.
What LGBTQI should really stand for?
Street might go
Let's
there.
go break the queer ideology. That's what I would suggest. Let's rename these things. Let's have some fun. It's an evil and destructive ideology that must be destroyed. Now, President Trump is going to destroy
So
it
don't
there.
worry.
We need that same justice here. But can I just finish? We are each here for a reason.
We got Union Jacks,
in-
we got
we're-
American
in Ephesians
flags,
it says we are created in Christ
Free Lion,
Jesus to do good works,
you collect
which God prepared in advance
Wales,
to do.
Welsh Dragon,
Every single one of us has
Free
a
Tommy.
purpose. Every single one of us were
the
created
last
for
we
a reason.
will forget.
We need to make sure and find out what
Which
this
is
is.
help
Part
the
of the reason
heroes.
is because you're here, because you want to have freedom.
yeah.
You want your country back.
Yes!
I'll leave you with a quote. Mark Twain said the two most
Don't know
important days
how
in your
many
life
people
are the
got
day
here.
you're born and
Really
the day you find out why. We need to find out why. Tommy knows why he was born, and that is to speak truth in every section of society. Can I just finish to ask you this week to take time? Many of you have written to Tommy, many of you have talked to family members and colleagues about how Tommy is and what he is doing. Can I ask you to just take a moment this week and pray for Tommy? It's something each of us can do. Many of us here actually believe in a
You've got
God. You may
more
believe
Welsh
in the
flags
God of
just
the
here.
Bible. Pick another one.
What I like
I
to
want
see-
you to pray
what
this
I like
week
to see
and
is
pray
the
for
Welsh
Tommy
flag.
for courage, for protection, for safety, that he will give out quickly, that Elon Musk's support of him will free him. And can I ask you to pray that we see our politicians turn around and accept Tommy is a hero and to have a change in our government. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Peter McElvenna. Couple of announcements. First one is, if there's buckets in the crowd, if you can start passing all the buckets back to the front of the crowd, because we want to get that money in before it disappears and goes into those white police vehicles at the back of the crowd. We don't want it going there, we want it going into here. So bring the buckets up. If you haven't put money in the buckets, do it now. And we're going to introduce a song by Tracy Chapman called Talking About a Revolution. And jump up and down.
Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds this way. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like this way. While they're standing in the buffet lines, crying at the doorsteps of the armies of salvation, wasting time in the unmobilized, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds this way. We're gonna rise up, get there, yeah. We're gonna rise up and take what's there. Don't you even run. It's finally the table I'm starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. It's finally the table I'm starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Talking about a revolution.
No, I'll get you a key, really. That's my channel, and a lot of these videos will be on tonight, over the next few weeks.
Wasting time in the unorganized, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. And finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Finally the tables are starting to turn. Talk about a revolution. Talk about a revolution. Talk about a revolution.
Well, we're here today for a very specific reason. And the banner says it's time to end Tommy's isolation. Do you agree with that?
Yeah!
I want to go a bit further. I don't want to end, well, I do want to end Tommy's isolation. I want to end Tommy's isolation by freeing Tommy Robinson. We want Tommy out! 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 Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. Tommy Robinson isn't in prison in isolation because of contempt of court. And this is what the prison governor said. She said Tommy is in isolation because of his ideology, because of what he believes. And let me tell you something today. I believe what Tommy believes. You believe what Tommy believes. And the whole country believes what Tommy Robinson believes. You see, for years, our politicians have cowered in the corner. They've been terrified of upsetting the Islamic community in the United Kingdom. Tommy never had such a fear, and neither do you.
No!
Tommy Robinson stood against the rape jihad in the United Kingdom. So do I, and so do you. Tommy Robinson warned about and stood against the Islamization of the United Kingdom. So do I, and so do you. And when there were jihadist attacks, who was it that was highlighting the mosques where those monsters came from? It was Tommy Robinson. Now, Suella Braverman, she said a very interesting thing a couple of weeks ago. She said, in 20 years, the United Kingdom will be an Islamic State. To quote Margaret Thatcher, we say, no, no, no! Our country, our beautiful Christian country, is never going to be an Islamic State, because we're going to take it back! And how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, we take it back by focusing on three things. And the first one has been spoken about a lot today. The first thing that we're going to focus on is spirituality. This country is a Christian country, and it's going to stay a Christian country forever. The next thing we need to focus on is the ideology of our movement. And I'm going to give you a web address that I want you all to go to. I want all the cameramen to get this website as well. I want you to go to a website called thepledge.org.uk. Give a round of applause for the pledge if you signed it. And if you signed it, I want to ask you to get all your friends and family to sign it, because that is one of the pieces of the jigsaw that will bring our country back and save our country. And finally, we need a political solution. How many people here think the Conservative Party is the solution? No! How many people here think the Labour Party is the solution? How many people here think reform's the solution? There's only one party at the moment that represents all of our views and all of our values, and it's UKIP. UKIP at the minute is the only party that represents the British people and is taking a stand. And I want to echo Nick Tenconi's words. What we're going to do with the illegals, we're going to deport. The illegal migrants have to go. Yes! And I'm going to finish. I know you're all really cold, I'm going to ask you all to jump up and down in a minute. But before I do that, I'm going to finish on this. We need to free Tommy Robinson.
Free Tommy Robinson!
And we need to jail, arrest, and deport to Pakistan the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs.
And Keir Starmer.
We will see
straight to
victory.
prison.
We will win this battle, and we will see two-tier Keir deposed from power. Thank you very much. Now, before I welcome our next guest, I'm going to ask you all to jump up and down. I know it's stupid. Just move about. Start getting warm again. It's freezing cold. Start moving without anyone getting hypothermia. Do you know how silly you all look? Andrew Bridgen is the next guest. He's a hero of free speech. Let's get him back in the House of Parliament. Give it up for Andrew Bridgen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We stand here today in solidarity, in support of a very, very brave man. An English patriot, a man who believes in justice and truth, a man with principles, a man who knows that principles cost him. a man who's now suffering solitary confinement for his beliefs in truth and justice and principles. That man is Tommy Robinson. And there's no doubt that Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. Now, what do we think of Keir Starmer?
Dictator! Traitor to his country and people!
No, you're wrong. He's not that good.
No, he's a wanker.
He's barely been in office for 7 months. First of all, he came for the old age pensioners and the winter fuel allowance. He came for the farmers. He's come for Tommy Robinson. And with the net zero hoax, the assisted dying bill, the climate and nature bill, he's coming for all of us. But he's not going to win. We're going to make this year the year of truth and justice on many matters. And it's not just the politicians who've let you down. The mainstream media have let you down. They let us down all the time with the fake news and the misreporting. Malcolm X was an American civil rights campaigner, and he said that the media, they have the most power in the world because they have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And that's what they're doing, and that's what they've done with Tommy Robinson.
And that's why they're dangerous!
Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, abide by the rules today, be proud of your country, and let's free Tommy Robinson. Thank you for listening.
That's the sort of politician that we want in the House of Parliament. Not the rats that are in there now. They don't know the bridges are going to come. I want to ask the camera guys to zoom in on that QR code. That is the QR code for the pledge. What we want to do is get that on every single social media channel you can get it on, and get people signing the pledge today. Thank you very much. Now we're going to bring Dan from Voice of Wales. He doesn't need an introduction. He's a total legend. He's been fighting for freedom in Wales.